Welcome to the Autumn 2020 series of Passion, Purpose and Making a Difference. I'm Jude Thorpe, and in this series of videos, I'm going to be chatting to women who have a strong sense of passion and purpose, and who are happy to share their experiences and advice to help others achieve their work goals and ambitions. It's a short and snappy format involving just 7 questions. So without further ado, I'm delighted to welcome my first guest, Gillian King. Gillian is Vice President of Europe, Russia, the CIS and Africa at Tendeka, the Completion Solutions Company. Earlier on this year, Gillian was delighted to join the board of the Oil and Gas Technology Centre. Gillian, welcome. Sticking with the theme of 7, I'm going to challenge you to describe the work that you do at Tendeka in just 7 seconds.
Thank you, Jude, and thanks for inviting me. It's a real honour to be asked to be on your series. In 7 seconds, what I do in Tendeka is I try to grow the business within my region, develop my team, and make sure that we're sustainable in an energy transition perspective.
Very well done, very concise. So on to question number 1. What has been your biggest career challenge to date?
Wow, there have been many, but if I'm being honest with you, most of the main challenges have been around my own self-confidence, and luckily I've always had good mentors and bosses around to kind of believe in me and help me reach my goals. One example that kind of springs to mind is when I was offered the VP job in Asia Pacific with Tendeka, and my initial reaction was like, no way, I can't do this, I don't have the skills, I don't have the experience. But I actually realised after kind of 6 months in the role, I stopped and looked around and was like, I'm actually doing okay just by being myself, trusting my instincts. So I'm hopefully getting a little bit better at it.
So what's your superpower and how do you use it?
Probably my passion. It's what drives me to try and influence change. I'm really passionate about the energy transition and the opportunities that it brings for the industry, and I've tried to use that passion to inspire a small team within Tendeka to put together a carbon management strategy and make sure that we make the most of those opportunities.
I know that you used a sabbatical in order to rediscover, reconnect with your purpose and passion. Which of the amazing things that you did during that time do you cherish the most, and can you explain why? So surfing in Hawaii or snowboarding in Japan?
So both of those were amazing, and I was super fortunate to do those along with many other things in my sabbatical. I have to admit the fonder memories that I have when I was snowboarding in Japan, because I stood in a sea urchin when I was surfing in Hawaii and walked around with the spines in my foot for about a week. But in seriousness, the memory I probably cherished the most was just the 8 weeks that I spent backpacking around Colombia and exploring the Amazon jungle. I'd been pretty close to burnout before that point, so being able just to get back to basics, reconnect and explore some different amazing places, meet new people and explore some different cultures was probably the lasting memory.
You obviously just joined the board of OGTC earlier on this year, during lockdown, actually, was it?
Just before I attended my first board meeting in February.
Right. Going through that process, what was the hardest question that you got asked during the interview and selection process for it?
So they asked me how I would feel, or if I would feel comfortable speaking up in the kind of board setting. And, you know, bear in mind that this was my first board role, and there's a lot of highly successful, influential people and an unusually large number of OBEs on that committee. It was super daunting. I answered the question by saying that I actually find it really difficult not to speak up if I see something that's not right. And I suggested that they might want to speak with any one of my previous bosses who would confirm that, and also confirm that I'd been the bane of their life by doing that many times. So I think that's what they were looking for. They were looking for someone that would come in and not be afraid to challenge them.
And I think that is a very I think it's a common fear of people going into that boardroom situation where they do feel intimidated and they do question what their opinion and what they can add.
It's just the confidence in that why you've been invited onto that board. You've been invited for a reason, and there's no silly questions.
Absolutely. So what advice would you give to people aspiring to a board role?
I would say just to get involved in as many things as possible out with your day-to-day role, like volunteer for things. There's various things that I'm involved in, like I'm on the ICOTA committee. I try and participate in the...
ICOTA, I don't know what that is.
It's the International Coil Tubing Association. It sounds very glamorous.
Well, I'm glad to admit I didn't know what that was.
But yeah, basically the intervention community within Europe. So I'm on the ICOTA committee. I try and be reasonably active in OG UK events. I'm a STEM ambassador, and also I participated on the Future Industry Leaders programme. So I think by getting involved in all these things and participating in all these things not only allows me to learn, but it gives me a slightly different perspective. And obviously it makes me a bit more visible within the industry or out with my organisation.
Next question, Love Island or Desert Island Discs?
Neither, I would say. I've heard of Love Island, but I've never watched it. To be honest, usually on an evening or a weekend, you'll find me out and about, either out for a walk or on my bike or at the gym doing a spin class or circuits class. I'm not a big TV fan.
Final question, what's the one thing somebody watching this could action in order to bring them closer to their career goal?
I think just to use your network and use your network's network. I've never been afraid to reach out to my contacts and ask for help, ask for introductions, ask for guidance. And I think generally people want to help you. They love being asked for advice and things. So just talk to as many people as possible and experience as much as you can.
7 quick questions, but lots of takeaways from that about being self-confident, trusting your instinct, using your networks, and not being afraid to ask and to show passion and apply that to whatever you're doing. So thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful. Thanks very much.